We are going back to work here to try to resolve this budget. I want to today characterize what I think the state of the negotiation is. In my view, we're making significant progress. And yesterday was a very productive day. I know I sat with the governor for a long period of time. We had a Big Five meeting as well, and I met with all of the legislative leaders. And, I expressed, my belief that while both sides have taken hard stands, and I certainly am proud of the stand that my caucus and the Assembly Democratic Caucus have taken around standing up for the poor, the vulnerable, and those who too often don't have a voice. But it is time that expressed to the governor, and I want to express now that it's time that we get this done. And it's time that we move to a. It's time that we move to a close. It's time that we move to a close quickly. It's going to take compromise, and I am going to be here, and I know some of my colleagues are going to be here around the clock today, tomorrow, over the weekend, with the hope and the expectation that over the next several days that we will complete this and complete it successfully.
But it's a little too late, and IOUs go out today. How could you let this happen?
Well, I don't believe we let it happen. We put forward a very common sense measure on Wednesday evening and to avoid the IOUs. And the administration and the Senate Republicans chose to take this another direction. I've already made, I think, very explicit comments about how I felt about that action. But I choose today to not, get into a resumption of a rhetorical war, but instead to look forward and do everything that I can together with the other legislative leaders in our respective caucuses and the governor to bring this to an end.
Gerald, do your comments indicate that you're willing to give the governor the reforms that he asked for?
Well, we're willing to negotiate the reforms, certainly. Some of his ideas are fine ideas. But, it's never about all or nothing. It's always about the art of the possible. And frankly, we have a lot of issues to work on beyond this budget. We still want to get something done in water. The important recommendations from the tax commission are coming down quickly, which may be more important than any of this in terms of how we restructure our system of public finance here in California. And so, we have to come together here, not only for the sake of the people of California, obviously, but also for the sake of being able to move forward and continue to, build back California.
What Democrats need to vote together, because time is running and you vote with invitation in 10 days more, July 17, something like that.
Time is running. Yes, it is. And it was my fervent hope. And I know we did everything in our power to avert the IOUs. 90 out of 120 legislators voted to avoid IOUs. 90 out of 120. This was a strategic move by the governor and the Senate Republicans. Again, I've spoken very clearly about how I viewed that chapter. I don't think it does any good to, kind of get into that. The governor and I sat down yesterday. And while it's clear that we have had and continue to have real differences, it is time to bring this to a close. I think it'll take a couple of days, but I think it will get done.
Are taxes still on the table?
No. We're not. We've made that clear all along. That isn't our... we would like to see an increase in the tobacco tax and the oil severance tax as a solution, but in this chapter that's not realistic and it's not what we're holding out for.
What kind of progress was made? You said significant progress has been made.
significant progress on the remaining, really the remaining key issues that we identified, that we've identified now for a couple of weeks, and that is the issues relating to California's safety net, how we preserve it, and yet how we might do some common sense policy changes / reforms to be able to do a better job of keeping costs under control over time.
You mentioned working over the weekend. What is sort of the layout of the plans for you folks, and are the other leaders and the governor going to be here as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, you have to ask them. I know the governor is coming back up today. I'm going to have a core of members up here, but 25 people don't fit in the tent, and so. So it and not everybody smokes cigars. So I think what my caucus has empowered me to do here is to go to work one-on-one with the legislative leaders and with the governor to try to again close this out over the next couple of days.
Is local government borrowing pretty much unavoidable at this point?
I don't know the answer to that question, whether it's unavoidable. It's certainly an issue that remains in play as we try to add up the numbers and get to a package that represents a real solution to California's deficit problem.
Karen seemed very mad coming out of the meeting yesterday. You did not. Are Assembly Democrats and Senate Democrats on the same page in terms of where we go in the next couple of days?
The speaker and I talk multiple times a day. We have a terrific relationship, and we have each other's backs. The caucuses themselves are different. They are different. The Senate is a different institution than the Assembly, but we are certainly together, and we're fighting for the same thing, which is to stand for people. And we're going to do the very best we can to come out of this, having done so strongly, but getting this over with and getting it done. Okay? Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
One more question.
Yeah, Judy.
The governor was in LA saying, basically accusing you of standing with the unions and not protecting the California people.
You know what? I choose not to respond to stale rhetoric. It's I know where I stand, and I've been very clear, and I have a long track record, as do my colleagues. I came into public life for one reason, because I was taught that when you are given something in life, as I was given a good education and grew up in a great community, you give something back. And you especially stand for people without a voice. That has always been my motivation in public life and in politics. And as this very difficult debate continues and comes to an end, on behalf of all my colleagues, I'm living by my principles, which say, help kids who need health insurance. Help adults who are trying to go from assistance to work. Help the elderly and disabled who may have nothing but the working person who comes in and bathes them and helps feed them during the course of the day. I'll never, ever, ever apologize for standing up for people, and neither will my colleagues. Don't take that in any kind of a strident or negative way. We're going to bring this to a reasonable conclusion and a compromise. But the union business, all of that, it's just, it's not worth responding to. I know what we're fighting for. I don't want to engage in a rhetorical war with the governor anymore. We had a pretty good one over the last couple of days.
And it's
time to get it done.
Is that true, the fingerprinting too? He was specific about the fingerprinting. He went on a whole litany of your refusing to allow recipients of IHSS to be fingerprinted.
I think there is a distinction between fingerprinting workers and fingerprinting someone who, may be quadriplegic, and I'm not sure that particular reform is necessary, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we come to a reasonable compromise around IHSS reform, and we will do so.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.